Universal Time.
I am in radio contact.
So today in the lab, I am working on a device that requires me to change the code in a one-time programmable EEPROM. And since these Atmel AT27C512Rs are not ultraviolet erasable, I turned to eBay for a functional equivalent. Well, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, we don't get fooled again. So under the looking glass, this is what eBay seller Jerry in Rancho Cucamonga sent me. I bought 10 of these. These are the Winbond W27C512-45Z. Interestingly, when I read these in the programmer, they are actually genuine Winbond chips. But for whatever reason, they decided to blacktop them and laser engrave them, probably to increase the resale value. So turning the chips over, we can actually see different markings and also signs of them being used. The one on the top here has the pins so mangled that pretty much I can't straighten them without breaking them. So there's that's one lost for the cause. At this point in time, I'd also like to point out that the paint is actually coming up on this chip. Alright, the chip with the mangled pins is going to be our test subject. So let's get some denatured alcohol in here and give it a bell. So, not a whole lot coming up, but we are starting to see some of the blacktop coming up with our cleaning solution. Yeah. You can kind of see how we're getting some of the lettering to change on the package. But with alcohol probably isn't aggressive enough, so I'll switch to acetone here in a second. Alcohol's just what I had handy. Alright, moving on to acetone. If you don't have genuine acetone, most nail polish removers are just acetone with a little bit of scent added. So you can grab your wife's or your girlfriend's nail polish remover to try this test as well. I don't know if we'll actually get down to the full... Well, lots coming up now, but I don't know if we'll actually get down to the original markings or not, but yeah, pretty much if you suspect that you have a counterfeit or a remarked chip, just go at it with chemicals and see if you can get black to start coming up. Also, another thing these people like to do is the pins on the side. They are a lot more shiny compared to, say, a normal or a legitimate part. So that's one thing to look for, traces of solder on the pins. So they will they'll take the package and like dip it in a solder bath to re-tin the pins. Yeah. So I chose the particular eBay auction because it said USA shipping. And the problem is these scammers will take a whole lot of eBay orders and put them in one giant box and then ship them to somebody's address that's in California or somewhere on the West Coast, and then they open the box and then put the individual packages into the mail or UPS or whatever. So you can see that Jerry stuck a label on top of the original shipping label, but peel it off in a second and see what's underneath. Okay, so I've peeled up the USPS Ground Advantage shipping label that Jerry stuck on the package to reveal this. I've redacted some of my personal information, but not really sure what no battery is. This tracking number is not the one that was the USPS tracking number. Might be on 17track.net, don't know, don't care. The reference order, or the reference number there is probably the eBay order number. And product slug ×2. Yes, I sure did get slugs. Anyways, when you end up with counterfeit chips like this, or remarked chips, you can call them out on it, and then they will start to offer you refunds. So in this case, Jerry offered me an initial refund of $5, and I was like, no, you're selling remarked chips as new, please give me a full refund. So then he came up to $13, which the original cost of the auction I think was something like $15 or $16, something like that. So it turns out I can actually reuse these chips, so it's not a total loss for me, but because this particular model of chip, it is electrically erasable if you have a programmer that can do it. So even though they were written, I can reuse these chips and it's not a total loss for me. But a thing to watch out is if you were going to get, like, say, real W27C512Rs that were made by Atmel, those do not erase. So they are one-time programmable. So if you ended up with pulls off of a motherboard, they'd be absolutely useless for you because you couldn't reprogram them. So in the case, I was willing to accept the refund just because it wasn't worth the hassle trying to get the full amount back. But like I said, if you do press these people long enough, they will refund you the full amount usually. And that's also a sign that you're dealing with a scammer, because they'll do like a 3-step lowball process just to try to appease you and shut you up. Anyways, as always, thank you for your time and try to enjoy yourself the rest of the day.